Hello, dear listeners. This is Akashvani Kohima, FM Trogopan at 103 megahertz, and it is time for your live interactive program, Inperfect Harmony. And we have a very, very special guest in the studio here with us. She is Miss Visenuo Rio. She is a renowned soprano from Nagaland. She has a bachelor's degree of music from Margaret Shiksha School of Music, Patkai, and is currently working as an assistant professor. She holds a master's in music performance from the Royal Welsh College of Music and Drama, Cardiff, UK. Visenuo not only performs as a solo artist, but has also collaborated with several choirs like MSSM Singers, Cantomus Choir, the Nagaland Chamber Choir, and the Nagaland Madrigal Singers. So welcome to the studio.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for being here. It's an absolute pleasure to have you here. And yes, I've given a short introduction, but I'm sure the listeners would love to know more from you. So can you tell them a little bit more about you?
Okay. You spoke everything that I've prepared. But anyways, first of all, good evening, everyone. And I would like to take this time to thank your team, the Akashvani team, for this opportunity. Right. Yes, I am Visenuo Rio, and people call me Avise. Right. And I do teach music, particularly singing, for a living, and I love doing what I do. Right. Apart from that, I love food. I love my family, and I love to spend time with friends as well. I think that's just about it. Now you know everything about me.
I'm sure the listeners will definitely relate to that because FM Tragopan, the listeners out there, they share a lot of food ingredients. They share a lot of insights on music. Yes. So this is going to be a very, very interesting conversation, to say the least. Yes. Before we begin, we jump into many of our conversation, I think this is a very generic question that gets asked a lot, but I'm going to ask it anyway.
Please do.
Because I'm sure that people would love to know the roots and the inception. So where did all this begin regarding your passion, the spark? Was it something that you developed at a young age, the interest, or was it something that happened later in life?
With regard to this musical journey, so to say, I don't really have an interesting, God-revealing kind of story behind it. Right. I don't know how it all started. I did sing when I was a kid also, and my family, my dad loves singing, and music has always been very precious to him also. They did not really teach me the, do re mi fa so's of the music, but I did grow up listening to them sing. The church elders will come together and as a group, and it will be my dad teaching them. So I grew up with all of that. Right. But how did I get into classical singing? I don't really know. Right. And I didn't even know that I was good at it. But I tried it. I liked it. It felt good. So I think that's just about it. My musical journey, like many would say, had its share of doubts and struggles, but it was also filled with so much support and love from the family. I think, which is why it's the same for many. I think there were times where you wanted to give up. I wanted to quit because there were people who discouraged me or questioned me why I do what I do. So there were times, but all thanks to God and my supportive family, they're like the epitome of a support system. So because of that, I think, that kind of sums up my journey, I think. Right.
Yeah. So basically, I think it was a little bit of divine intervention.
I think so. I think so.
You were subconsciously picking up.
Yeah. I think so. Yeah.
And regarding the criticism, you overcame it, and against all odds, you're here. So it doesn't matter, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's a very, very good lesson for the people tuning in right now.
I hope. I hope it is.
They should not get discouraged with silly things.
Exactly.
Go around
Exactly.
Here.
Yeah.
All right. Coming back to our conversation with 2 music degrees under your belt and a whole lot of experience, I'm sure it'll be very, very difficult for you to narrow down like 1 or 2 instances. So can you just give us a few of your highlights from your music career? Something that is memorable to you, or something that holds a special place in your heart?
Yes. Like you said, I definitely have a lot, and I don't think we have enough time to talk all of it, but
Right,
yeah,
right, right.
there are few that I think I can think of right now is, you know, ever since I started my music education,
Right.
yeah, I've always wanted to pursue masters, particularly in performance.
Right.
And I think getting the opportunity, getting admitted, you know, when I auditioned for it, getting into the course,
Right.
and that too in performance, I think that was one of the highlight. I think,
Right.
you know, I prayed, I dreamt about it, and it came true. So God made it happen. So that has been one of the highlight, you know, getting to do what I've
Right.
always wanted to. Then the other one was when the college that we studied in,
Right.
so that we have this classical music is a big deal there. So
Right.
we have this BBC National Chorus of Wales, and they come auditioning new students, and depending on the auditions, they will either select you, but also select you with a bursary, like an income.
Right.
So I auditioned for it. I was very nervous, but I auditioned for it, and fortunately, again, God made it happen.
Right.
I got selected, and they offered a bursary also, and
Right.
that was that was my first ever paid singing responsibility, and it felt good. You know, another highlight was that because when you're abroad, you know it's not easy, especially, you know, financially also. So
Right.
every penny, you know, that you earn doing anything, everything, it counted and it helped. So
Right.
that was another highlight. And one more I would like to share. I know
Please.
it's I've always had this you know, dream of wanting to do my solo recital, like a solo concert kind of thing.
Right.
And I've been wanting to do it, but couldn't do it because of many things. But this year it happened. Just recently, the most recent highlight will be at my recent solo recital, which I named it as a dedicatory recital. I
Right.
wanted to dedicate the recital to my loved ones,
Right.
particularly my family, which happened 14th of Feb. So
I see.
that was a wonderful experience and a wonderful highlight. I don't know about others, but for me that felt like an accomplishment, you know, because it was an experience filled with so much love and filled with God's grace again. So those are the things that I'd like to share, I think. Yeah.
Those are some incredible highlights, I would say. And
Thank you.
I'm sure that you have a lot under your belt. So
thank you,
hopefully
thank you.
before the end of the show, we'll get some out of it from you again. And yes, I think people should take inspiration from you. You know, just hearing you speak, I can just feel the passion oozing out of you. You know?
Oh, thank you so much.
Yes, I think just sticking to that again, since we've talked about your degree that you did in Cardiff, UK as well. So what are some of those differences that you have noticed in terms of the music scene in the West and here in Nagaland? Because you've seen both sides of the coin now, right? So is there any difference that you see, and is there anything that we can learn from them?
Definitely. I think there are plenty of things that we can learn.
Right.
I mean, at least in my genre, you know, the classical music, in this realm, it's like we still have so much to accomplish, so much to get to. You know, we're getting better, of course, but it was when I went there for my master's, it was a complete shock for me because of my lack of confidence also. You know, when I went there, they were so confident, irrespective of whether they sounded extraordinary or not.
Right.
Their confidence oozes out of them, you see.
Right.
So that intimidated me. But I was also thinking, that made me realize, you know, everyone is here to learn. So I think we should have that mentality also.
Right.
Here we are very timid. We're like scared to be looked down on. But then again, you know, everyone's here to learn. So I think that's something that we can learn out of them. And then, you know, here now it's getting better for the younger generations also because they're growing with it. But our time, you know, I'm older. I'm in the 1990s. So somehow everything was kind of new because there they were growing up with it. So I think they gained confidence with that. They were taught to be confident. But here it was not really like that. Nah? So I think in that aspect of it, in the confidence aspect of it, it was very different. Yeah, but I see students now, you know, I'm a teacher now. So when I was a student and now seeing students, it's very different. Now they're building confidence. I'm like, you know, I wish I was this So it's now it's getting better, and I think it will get there someday. Yeah, yeah.
Right, right. I think we can definitely see a shift in the culture,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Because like you
yeah.
mentioned, the 1990s
Yeah,
and the
yeah,
late
yeah,
80s
yeah.
were from that era as well.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
high five to you on that. And yes, I think we were told to sort of keep it down, keep it
Yes,
quiet
I
a little
think so.
bit.
I think so.
I think
Yeah.
maybe it benefited us in certain ways, but I think it also hampered people with talent
Yeah, yeah.
in a lot of
I
ways.
think
So
so. Yeah.
it's good to see the culture shift, and it's good to see the confidence that is growing. And I think that is a very good point that you brought up. So I think people are slowly learning, and I'm sure the listeners are taking a lot of notes from this as well. So yes, hopefully we will see great performers come out very, very soon,
Thank
especially in the classical realm as well. All right, solo performances and choir collaborations or group collaborations, right?
Yes.
Which one do you enjoy more or prefer more? And can you give us a few reasons why?
Do you want me to be honest?
Please be honest. In FM Drogovan, it's all about honesty, okay? So please be
Yeah,
honest.
honestly, I mean, like the younger generations would say, no cap.
Right.
As much as I enjoy being a part of a choir, singing with the choirs and all of that, I think nothing to me compares to the feeling of performing at solo,
Right.
solo performances. Nothing beats that.
Right.
I love I think it's the thrill of performing on stage as a solo artist. It's just different, and I don't think singing in a choir, for me,
Right,
will come
right.
close to singing as a soloist, and that is, and I think one of the main reason will be because of the independence, the freedom also.
Right.
Because I'm a loud singer.
Right.
If you hear me, you'll know I'm a very loud singer. So singing in a choir, it's like a lot of blending in, having to limit myself because I do not want to stick out, because I need to sound, very much blended with the other voices.
Right, right.
But as a soloist, it's like, nobody is there to, say, oh, too loud, too soft. It's like I do what I want to do.
Right.
I do it my way. So
Right.
definitely solo performances, yes, over anything
Right,
else.
right.
Yeah.
I hope you're not offending any of the choirs that you
I hope
worked
not.
with.
I still love them very much. In fact, I'm still a part of the Naglan Chamber Choir.
Right, right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah. And I do enjoy it.
Guys, we're just playing around. She
Yeah,
loves
yeah,
every one of you. And I think that's great. I think that's also another great point that you brought up. When you're performing solo, I think there's no accountability, right, with others.
Yeah, yeah.
It all
It's
comes
on
down
me.
to
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Good or
I
bad.
think- exactly.
Yeah.
And the creative process is also all within you. So yeah, I think that's a very good point that you once again bring up. And I was gonna ask you, I'm gonna touch upon this a little bit as well. How do you prepare for a solo performance versus performing with a choir? You have already made it very clear that
Very
you like
clear.
it. You like solo performances better.
Yeah,
but can
yeah,
you tell
yeah.
us the different dynamics that that you bring to in terms of performing solo and performing as a group or a choir?
You see, I think performing as a soloist and also performing, it has different responsibilities also.
Right.
Performing as a choir, it definitely helps you, to improve and to work on your what is that called? To work on your it helps you become more group friendly kind of thing,
Right.
like it helps you to adjust, to be more adjustable also, and blending in is a very important aspect, I think, in singing also. So
Right.
those things, yeah, you definitely learn to do it or to get better in choir, but again, for me it's the independent aspect of it again.
Right.
If I have to perform a solo, I have to work for, so it's me, so I can just do it anytime I want, anytime I need, right?
Right.
And I don't have to wait for anybody, or I don't have to I don't have to go anywhere, I can just do it in my room, I can just do it in my comfort place. But
Right.
for choir, it's like you have to go to where everyone can come together.
Right.
Or for choir, it's like you have to wait. So that part of it, if I set a practice session for myself as a solo performer, for solo performances, it's like I can just do it solely focused on me,
Right,
on
on
my
your
song.
own.
But in choir, it's like there's a lot of waiting. There's a lot of all of that. So much time gets wasted
Right.
when it comes to waiting, at least in Nagaland. So
Right,
I think that's the difference, you know. Yeah,
Right.
again,
I think time management. That's
time
what-
management.
right,
Yes,
right. I
yes,
think-
yes.
Yes, that is very, very true. I think in Nagaland, I think almost everyone has been in a choir at least once in their
Yeah.
life, right? So I'm
In
sure
church,
that
na? Because of
they'll
the church,
definitely
yeah.
relate to this
Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
So that's a very interesting thing that you All right. We've mentioned this before. You have a lot of experience under your belt. And with the experience and with all the journey that you've been through, challenges are bound to happen, right? So what has been the most challenging performance or a piece that you've performed, and how do you tackle it?
Well, if you know classical music, the songs that I do, it's often in foreign languages. There are, of course, plenty of in English also, but
Right.
that has been. So I think if I come to think of it, every piece that I learned has been a challenge for me.
Right.
In the aspect of language, in the aspect of the learning notes and all of that.
Right.
But with practice and over time, it does get easier. But the most recent challenging piece that I did will be Un bel di vedremo.
Right.
There is an aria again, which
alright.
I doubt it might be alien to most of the listeners also.
Right.
And Je veux vivre, Je veux vivre. There are both arias.
Right.
One is Italian. The first one is Italian. The other one is French. And Italian is, when it comes to singing foreign languages,
Right.
there are plenty, but I've done mainly English, German, Italian, and French. And in my experience, Italian is the text is easier than German. Then German is easier than French. So for me, French has always been a struggle, a challenge. So
Right.
those two pieces, they were a part of my recent recital repertoire that
Right.
that I did. So I struggled because of the language.
Right.
If you check French, when the way it's written, it's never how it sounds. It's like you have to. It's like a puzzle pieces. You have to sort it out, and
Right.
so those were challenging for me because not only do I have to learn the melody, but I have to learn foreign language.
Right.
Not only do I have to learn the language, but I have to do the researches on the character that I'm singing. Because these arias, arias are basically solos from operas. Like
Right.
opera, so from a bigger work again. So I have to. It's important for me to do the character. So it's like learning the song, the language, the character to bring out the life in the song. So those things have been challenging.
Right.
And you ask how I tackle it. I guess I wrestle with it. Just kidding, but yeah, I think in that aspect of it, it will probably be doing my research, learning notes, being patient with learning notes, because if the songs that I just learned had lots of runs, like
Right,
all of that, so it had to be precise. So I had to be patient and then learn note after note slowly, then increase the speed, the tempo of the song,
Right.
and things like that.
Right.
So in the end, it's like practice and practice and practice. That's how I
Right.
tackled it, practicing.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Very, very interesting. This is very, very interesting and very, very insightful. And we are doing a deep dive on classical music right now. So I'm sure this is a new thing for many listeners
Many,
out there
I
as well.
think-
So
I
I'm
think
sure
so,
they're
yeah.
learning a lot here. So yes, let's take a short musical break, and then we'll come back and we'll have more conversation with Miss Visenuo Rio. She is definitely a very, very passionate individual, and she has a lot more to say. So, dear listeners, keep tuning in. This is Akashvani Kohima from Tragopan at 103 megahertz, and this is your live interactive program in Perfect Harmony. We're gonna go a little bit of a different route with this music. This is not classical, not nowhere close to it. Nowhere close to it, but this is a band called Dead Cap for Cutie. They are, this is their song, I should say, Northern Lights. Enjoy. Hello and welcome back once again, dear listeners. This is Akashvani Kohima from Tragopan at 103 megahertz, and I'm still in conversation with Miss Visenuo Rio. And yes, she has been really schooling us in terms of classical music, and you can just hear the passion from her. I'm sure the listeners are very, very happy to hear this conversation. and I'm sure they're learning a lot. So we're gonna continue with that. And yes, this is a question like I mentioned earlier. I'm sure that you get asked this a lot as well. So how do you balance your passion for music, which you clearly have, and with other life responsibilities as well? Because I can tell that you are a multi-talented person.
I wish I was.
You wear a lot of hats. That is quite a given. So how do you balance that?
Well, again, if I were to be honest, I think my life responsibility, so to say, at the moment is my work. It's for there are times that I catch myself thinking, there are certain things that I need to take responsibilities for,
Right.
but in the matters of nothing different, just family matters, na. But fortunately, I have the most wonderful siblings, so who
Right.
takes care of all of that. So
Right.
I don't really have to worry about that again. So in my life at the moment, I think that's the perks of not getting married too early. I don't really have a struggle balancing, because
Right.
I don't really have too many responsibilities. So yeah, it's chill.
So you're solely focused on what you're doing right now.
Yeah.
So yes, I think even within that career span that you have, I think you have so much to do. So I don't think you need to do anything else.
Yeah, I think so.
I think that is a handful in itself.
Yes.
So,
Although
yes.
I'm often broke, I still enjoy it, and those are my responsibilities. Yeah.
Right.
It's pretty
Shout out to
chill.
your siblings as well.
Yeah.
for taking care of-
Yay.
All right, dear listeners. Yes, once again, we have Miss Visenuo in the studio here. If you're just tuning in, and this is your Imperfect Harmony program, your live interactive show. And yes, coming back to our conversation, you have spoken about your inspirations a lot, but I'm sure if we do a deep dive again, you'll have lots more to share. So I'm sure the listeners would want to hear a lot more of that. So is there any particular genre or like an era that you love, and can you elaborate on that a little bit?
I might sound biased, but I think because I do, I sing classical. I'm a classical singer. I think my preferred genre will be definitely classical singing.
Right.
And if I were to narrow it down again, I think it will be operas. Operatic,
Right.
The opera genre. I mean, we have in classical singing we have. Not just one type of singing. There's operatic singing. Then we
Right.
have different types. So I do enjoy doing more of an operatic singing because of the fact that I get to be someone else when I sing.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So if it comes to my preference, I think it'll be that. And
Right.
with regard to the era, I think it depends. Because classical music is divided into different era again.
Right,
So if you want to be independent, if you want to work more on independent pieces, it's like Baroque period ka. So
Right.
it gives you the independence, the freedom to sing a certain way you want, But
Right.
but if I were to choose what I can sing, then from which era, then if it's arias, I
Right.
would definitely choose classical. Because it's showy, it's kind of dramatic.
Right.
Depends on what I choose again, but definitely. But when it's art songs are like songs based on poems, so it's not a
Right.
part of But
Right.
it's so beautiful. So romantic period has some of the most beautiful art songs. So I
Right.
think depending on what type of songs I choose, if I choose aria, I'll definitely choose from this, and from art songs, it depends. I think so.
Right.
I don't really have a set
Right.
era, I think, as such, if I
Right,
were to choose.
right.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds very, very interesting. I think classical music, like any other genre, has a lot of subgenres, and there's a lot of
Yeah.
different varieties of classical that is,
Yeah.
up, on the table. People usually, when they think classical, they think you do those, straight up opera.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think yes, I'm sure you cleared up a lot of motion.
I hope I did. I
Yeah,
hope I
so,
did. Yeah.
And yes, hopefully by the end of the show, listeners, we will try to get her to sing a line or two. Alright, so, dear listeners, stay tuned.
no!
Stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for that. All right. Let's segue into something. Since you love classical music so deeply, and you cannot veer away from that, I just wanted to ask you this. I think this is a perfect segue because this is going to be something different. So maybe it might be the same, but I'm just assuming that this is going to be something different. can you give us the top 5 favorite artists from Nagaland? Because whoever comes to the studio, I asked them this question.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna throw it your way as well. Who would you say are your top 5 artists from Nagaland? Anybody that the people need to look out for?
Again, because of my taste in music,
Right.
I don't really catch myself listening to, in fact, generally speaking, not just
Right.
Nagas, but I can't really tag them as favorites, but
Right.
there are people, like Abdon Mech,
Abdon
yeah, Match, and Nurhekate,
Right.
Imliakum,
Imliakum,
yeah.
right,
So
right.
those are the ones I think they're a big deal because of the hard work, the perseverance,
Right,
people like them, shows us as laymen that hard work pays off. So because they work hard for it,
Right,
and
right.
they are still working hard for it. So and in that aspect of it, and when it comes to the type of, I think because I teach singing, so it's
Right.
got to do with voice also. So
Very
when
true.
it comes to the voice, I have this artist is not known yet, but
Right.
there's he's a friend. So his name
Right.
is Atsenglir Jamir. He's and Jonathan Yome.
Jonathan Yome,
Those
right.
two voices is some. I mean, there are certain voices that just gives you.
They have the
Something
vibe.
else, isn't it? Yeah.
Right,
so
right.
for me, those two are their voices. It gives me the when I listen to them sing whatever song they may be singing, it's like it's real, it's theirs. It's
Right.
like nobody else's but theirs. So I appreciate them in that aspect of it, and
Right.
again, my boss, Sir Zingwin
Right.
Shishak, he's the son of the founder of Patkai.
Right,
He's the dean of music at the moment. So he's a pianist. He's a really great pianist and a
Right.
really great musician. But his humility and his unbordered of fame,
Right.
he becoming famous is not, he's not really bothered about it. All of
Right,
that,
right.
I think in that aspect, he inspires me again. So they all have a soft spot in my heart, in my
right,
taste,
right.
but in different aspects. Yeah.
Right,
So.
right. I mean, those are some great names that you have just mentioned. Abdon, who just
Yeah.
recently
Yeah,
opened
yeah.
for John
Yeah,
Mayer as
yeah,
well.
yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah,
that
yeah.
is such a huge deal for, especially the music scene in Nagaland.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
It
yeah,
just
yeah.
goes to show that people who sort of are still in the notion that you cannot make a living out of music. I think that thought needs to be put back.
I
in the,
think
in the
I
old
think
age
so. Yeah.
system
They need
somewhere in
they
the
need
vault,
to
right?
appreciate appreciate
So I
more.
think
Yeah.
those are some great great names that you have mentioned, and I think people will definitely do research on them as well.
I
if
hope they
are-
do.
If they are not well versed with those names, and I'm sure they will definitely discover some gems as well. And thank you so much for your honesty as well, because some people they prep and come, they'll mention the list of artists that the list of artists that is their favorite, right? So you're very, very bold and honest. So kudos to you on that as well. All right.
I also
Right,
like
please.
I also like my good friend Kechazamus.
Right.
Singing. I love to sing with him. We've sung duets a couple of times, and
Right.
his voice is also very nice. And
Right.
it's not easy to find someone you can sing with, and feel comfortable with it. So he is one also as well, one of my favorite. Yeah.
Right. Shout out to him as well.
Yes.
Shout out to him. And yes, coming back to our conversation again, and we've talked a lot about performing and writing songs as well. Off the year, we were talking about some of your original songs that you're working on, or certain projects that you're working on. So
That was supposed to be a secret.
right, we're gonna mention that towards the end of the episode as well. But yes, with all those comes the creative aspect, right? Everything that you've mentioned from the start of the interview, all of those, there's an underlying creativity. There's a process that happens in all of those. So yes, that was what I was getting to. So can you walk us through your creative process in terms of like performing or writing a song, or just in general, without getting, of course, you can mention the technical aspect as well.
Yeah.
Without giving away too much, like you said, you mention a little bit of the creative process as well.
this part of it, I think if I was a songwriter,
Right, right.
I think I would have plenty to say in that aspect of it. But I, so far I've been, there are things that, yeah, there definitely, I do have a dream of coming up with something of my own.
Right.
That I am working on it. But apart from that, I've only performed already pre-existing works, nah?
Right,
Not
right.
not nothing of my own. So I think my creative process will not be as interesting as someone who does their own thing.
Right.
But in my case, it's more to do with I come across a certain song. It's like it sounds challenging to me, so I'm like, okay, I'm up for this, because it ends up, it helps me become a better singer also, and
Right.
technical aspect of it also, and there are certain songs that I try on my own, not for performance basis, but because I want to improve this technically also, and but I think it depends on the process will depend on what am I learning this song for,
Right, right.
Am I learning this song for a performance, or am I learning this song for technical aspect,
Right.
for experimentation, or for just for fun? So
Right,
I
right.
think it depends on that, because for performance it's definitely me doing a lot of watching videos to get more to get more ideas about the song, about performances,
Right.
and getting to know about the piece, the character, or the poem. What is it about? What is the word by word? Again, like I said, plenty
Right.
of it are in foreign languages, so
Right.
it's good for me to do a word by word transcription and then get a better idea of this, things like
Right,
that. I
right.
think so. It's a lot of studying, a lot of practicing again. So
Right.
and. As a performer, at least that's what I like to think I am.
Right, right.
I think the more I know about the music, I feel the more room it gives me, the more opportunity it gives me to make the music even more creative,
Right.
bring out the creative aspect of it also. So I think it depends, like I said, it depends on what my approach is for
Right.
that particular, so
Right,
yeah.
right, right.
I hope I answered it right.
Definitely, that was a very, very good answer. I think that is a very, very good way to sum it up as well. In terms of, you've mentioned that it might not be interesting for people, but I'm pretty sure that it sounds very, very interesting, especially
I
the
hope
way you are
that-
breaking it down for people. Because this is a genre that, like I mentioned earlier, a lot of people might not be aware of it.
Oh, yeah,
or they might
definitely.
just see it in like a tunnel vision kind of
Yeah,
way,
yeah,
just
yeah.
one track
Yeah.
mind kind of way. So yes, I think you have broke it down perfectly, and
Thank
it's
you.
a very, very interesting thing. I think your future projects, people will definitely be looking out for it.
I
So,
hope they, I hope
yes,
they do, yeah.
definitely. All right. Yes, best advice you've received in your musical career so far. Can you share it with our listeners?
It's been, it's been, wait, 20, wait, when? 2015, it was when I started
Right.
this journey, isn't it? So that's when I pursued Bachelor's of Music. I
Right.
first did my BA. That's where I decided, I want to pursue my Bachelor's of Music.
Right.
Then, so it's been, 10 plus years
Right, right.
since, oh, am
15,
I?
11 years.
Yeah,
15,
so
right.
my mathematics. So
That's fine.
yeah,
We're on the air, so.
In that course of time, I definitely received a lot of good advices which kept me going also. But
Right.
this one, when I went for my masters again, like I said, it was a culture shock also, and it was like it was very intimidating for me, where I self-doubted myself. Do I even have deserve to be here and all of that? But I attended. So we have this orientation
Right.
every other school. So
Right.
that's where the in charge said, the head said, you're not here by chance. You're here because you deserve it, because you're
Right.
here because you earned it. So
Right.
that was something that I think that encouraged me also, and that's stick to me, till
right.
this far. I think it's not just for me, but I think it will be. I think it's something that people should also
Right.
consider
Right,
yeah,
right.
consider having, yeah.
I think that's a great confidence booster as well for people, right? Because I think, especially with social media and especially with things that are getting thrown around these days, a lot of people feel inadequate in some ways.
Yeah,
In
definitely.
whatever
Yeah.
kind of aspect, whatever kind of field they're in. So I think that is great advice. You're here for a reason, right? So you're not here by chance. I think that is great advice. I think we should make a shirt out of it, right? T-shirt out of it. All right, dear listeners, we're coming towards the end of our conversation here. So we'll listen to one more track and we will close things out with Miss Visenuo Rio.
Yay.
So yes, we've mentioned John Mayer. So I think it's I think it's the perfect segue
Oh yes,
for
please.
us.
Oh, I love him as well. Yes, please,
Right,
please,
right.
please.
Let's play John Mayer.
Yes,
Stop This
please.
Train. Enjoy, dear listeners. Welcome back once again, dear listeners. This is FM Trogopan at 103 megahertz, and we are still in conversation with the very, very interesting and energetic Miss Visenuo Rio.
That's me.
And yes, she promised us earlier that she was going to deliver a line or two. So yes, Miss Visenuo Rio, please, serenade the line or two. please.
Serenade. Oh, talk about serenade. So this is an art song. Okay, by the way, this was not part of the plan. Serenade. Okay, so this is an art song. It's a German art song. Okay,
Right,
by Schubert. So it's called Ständchen. It's a
Alright.
serenade.
All right.
So it goes. Leise fliehen meine Lieder durch die Nacht zu dir. In den stillen Hain hernieder, Liebchen, komm zu mir. If you want to listen more, you should go and listen to it on the YouTube.
That sounded amazing, honestly.
I'm blushing here.
I did not understand a word of it, but that was amazing. That is what music does. Right? You don't have to understand the words, right?
Yeah,
It's
true.
just
Well,
the feeling that, and there was such an amazing voice, and we
Thank
can
you.
just see.
I'm
how
getting
far
all
you've
red
come.
here.
I think definitely, I'm sure the listeners are very, very happy. To hear this, right?
Thank you.
Thank you so much for that once again. And yes, we have a few more minutes left. So yes, can you please tell us regarding any new, future projects that you're working on, and something that you want the listeners to know about, or where they can follow you as well.
There are so many things that I want to do it,
Right.
which I will not share because I don't want people to know that I couldn't do it.
Right.
So there are plenty that I want to do it, and there are and I think I will do it, in due time.
Right,
You'll just have to keep your ears and eyes out for
Right,
updates,
right.
and I would appreciate your support, when that happens. So I will not mention anything in particular, like I said. And as a message, I first of all thank you very much for listening, for tuning in, for sparing your time to listen to this conversation. And the message, if you are a believer like me,
Right.
trust me when I say this, because God is always listening. He's definitely watching over us all the time, and all you have to do is, it's not easy. It's easier said than done, but
Right.
just believe, persevere,
Right.
and don't let cruel people get to you. There are too many in this world, and remember, not everyone wants to see you thrive, but that
Right.
does not mean there are people who don't. So do it for yourself. Do it for people who wants to see you thrive.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I think that's some great, that's some great advice and a message as well. Just block out the noise and keep moving forward, right?
Yes,
So
exactly.
thank you so much for that. And where do people follow you?
Oh, they can follow me on Instagram.
Right.
Visenuo Rio.
Visenuo Rio,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
I think so. It's
Visenuo
Visenuo Rio. Yeah, yeah. I think so.
What if they start following the other videos?
There's only one Visenuo Rio, I think.
Jokes apart, I think, guys, please make sure that you guys follow Visenuo Rio. There'll never be a dull moment. Trust me. I'm having lots of fun here in the studio. So thank you so much once again. Visenuo,
thank you for
being
having
here in
me.
the studio.
Yeah.
Your carefree attitude, your bold attitude, your honesty
Thank you.
is such an, it's very, very refreshing to see.
Thank you so
I'm
much.
sure that the listeners picked up a lot from
I
this
hope they did,
conversation.
yeah, I hope.
And yes, hopefully we can, we can do this again.
Yeah.
Right?
It'll be a pleasure, yes.
Right,
It's
hope-
been such a wonderful experience. It's my first time ever. So,
Right.
yeah, thank you so much for having me.
All right,
I know
all right.
I'm an earful, isn't it?
no, I
I'm
think-
2 years full, but thank you.
We're we're RJs, so I think the more people talk, the more we appreciate
Oh,
it.
thank
right?
you. Thank you so
once
much.
again, thank you so much, and
Thank you.
for your next project, whatever you do, on behalf of the FM Dragaban family, we wish you nothing but the absolute best.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much once again, and dear listeners, we just have a few more minutes left, so we'll cap it off with a song. But thank you so much to everyone for tuning in. This has been another edition of your live interactive program that is in perfect harmony.
Please like and subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell for the latest contents. Also, follow us on all our social media handles.